Glorious! Hey, it's Wrestling Hero Figs. Monday nights just became glorious. This is sick, you guys. I gotta say, a lot of these superstars that have come over from SmackDown, it's gonna help out a lot. Not just the Raw brand, but SmackDown. Because I can definitely see, I mean, after all, they traded a lot of top names from SmackDown, so I can only imagine as to who's gonna go over to SmackDown tonight. But we'll find out later on. And I want to talk about that, man, because that main event was lit. This was cool. I think this one was probably the one that got the biggest pop of the night. Dolph Ziggler. He came out, right? And he's like, I didn't come alone. And he did. He ended up coming out with Drew McIntyre. They ended up beating up on Titus O'Neil and Apollo Crews. They destroyed him. They had this really awesome finisher. It was a combination of the Claymore and the zigzag. It looks like they've been doing it for years. This is going to help out both, I think, in a big way. I mean, Dolph Ziggler for the last few years, yeah, there's not much for him to write home about. And Drew McIntyre, I just hope they don't botch it this go around, because if you guys remember his last WWE run, it was just terrible. I feel like they could have done a lot better. I mean, he's got the talent. There is no doubt. So these two joining, right, that's going to help out that tag team division. I can definitely see them going up against the Bar here in the near future. Now, the show right here, it did get started off in quite an interesting way, and this raises some questions. There's no doubt, right? Jinder Mahal. Okay, Jinder Mahal has been drafted, and he actually ended up losing the belt, the United States Championship. So I don't end this to Jeff Hardy. It's safe to say that this night was actually the night of the Hardys, right? Not only did Jeff Hardy win, but also the Woken Warriors. They got the #1 contender spot, or not #1 contender spot. Yes, they're taking on the Bar at the Greatest Royal Rumble. But what's going to happen with this, right? Now, does this mean that Jeff Hardy, is he going to go to SmackDown, right, with the U.S. title, or are they going to send over the IC champion Rollins over to Smack? So we'll find out more tonight. But right here, yes, Jinder, he's officially part of the roster, and it's a bad way to start off the show, man. It's a bad way to start off, a Raw return by losing the title. But we'll see what happens. I mean, usually when they do any kind of moves, like, it's for a reason, right? It's usually to help out either the superstar or the overall division. Now, right here, yeah, we all knew that this, because if you remember last week, they were basically fighting for a job. Kurt Angle, they said, look, if you guys win your match, sure, I'll give you a job. Whoever wins your match, you guys get a Raw deal or whatnot. But they didn't. Both of them lost. And Stephanie McMahon, she actually hired both of them. And it was a surprise, right? Because they thought they were going to join The Miz, right? They were all celebrating. You're like, yeah, we're going to be the greatest faction, better than NWO. Nope, Miz, guess what? You're going over to SmackDown. This is the only person that has been announced so far that has been drafted over to SmackDown. So, yeah, it's cool. I mean, yeah, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, I mean, they'll keep them together, I think, for a good while. But, again, we'll see here in the near future. Now, Natalya right here, okay, when they first introduced her, to the roster, it wasn't in an actual match. It was backstage. It was a little promo, and apparently her and Ronda have been training for quite some time now. So I don't know if this is kind of like a hint. We're going to do a tag team division for the women's, because there is a lot of talk about that. And I think if these two were to team up, oh man, don't get me started. So yes, Natalya part of the Raw roster. Now, speaking about tag teams, right here we have Breezango. And now you're saying, dude, bro, these guys are jobbers. Guess what? These jobbers ended up picking up a big win. And against who? The Bar, right? Our ex-WWE Raw Tag Team Champions. So I think this is cool. I don't think they're going to use them as jobbers. I mean, if you guys remember from SmackDown, they were over. They were definitely over, and I think they might actually utilize them properly. So we'll see. I mean, they are still going to keep the same gimmick, right? Fashion police, still calling people out for the stuff that they shouldn't be wearing. Baron Corbin, he didn't have any kind of show. It was more of like a promo. It was just saying, Baron Corbin has been brought to the Raw roster. So I guess we'll see what happens, what they do with the big guy. Because, yeah, for the last 3, maybe 4 months, he's been on a losing streak over on SmackDown. So this should definitely help him out. And, I mean, if Braun Strowman ends up staying on Raw, I don't think it will. I think that's one of the top superstars that will get drafted. Now, this one right here, they didn't really announce it. Well, I mean, they announced it on WWE.com. It was an exclusive. So that sucks, man. Ryder, dude, you're my guy. You know that, bro. But I'm sorry that you weren't even brought up during the actual show. So, yes, if you guys didn't hear, this was like a late. And he did announce it on his Instagram page. So, anybody that follows him knew that. So that sucks, man. You know what? I do foresee a second IC title run, assuming that, Rollins doesn't go over to SmackDown. Now, the glorious one, right? Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode is officially, he needed this. He definitely needed this. So out of all people, Bobby Roode was the one superstar that needed the change, right? I mean, and you know what they have to do, and I'm going to say this right now, because if you guys remember on NXT, he had a great heel run. They need to turn this man heel. This guy was over on SmackDown when they turned him face. Yeah, he didn't do all that great. So I hope that this whole switch and hopefully, like I said, heel turn, man, it would really, truly revive the glorious one. Drop it in the comment section, guys. Let me know as to who you think might get drafted over to SmackDown tonight. Again, this is all fairly new, and there's going to be a lot more that's going to progress here in the next week or so. Until next time, everybody.